gentlemen, dear audience, welcome to this morning meeting from Dubai, from Holiday Inn, Al Barsha. Let me welcome our guest for today. With me, I have Roxana Jaffer.
Hi.
And I will not mention titles because we are here on behalf of the World Leading Influencers Summit 2020. We are meeting some of the most influential people in the world. So today we are not going to speak about titles. We want to see how those titles worked for humanity. Well, let me welcome my guest for today. First, I would like to welcome Professor Lee. From Thailand, Bangkok. Hi, Professor Lee. And his daughter, Professor Yiling, from New York. She's with us to translate. Also, let me welcome Her Royal Highness Princess Maura Dione from New York, and Kevin from Australia. So today we are here, in fact, to shed the light on the real meaning of being an influencer. Now, in fact, on behalf of the GAIDE Association, it is the Global Association for Innovation, Development and Education, we are here to honor those people who did great work in the field of humanitarian services. Now, first, of course, I would like to introduce those great people to my audience. I hope this meeting will change the meaning of influencers in the minds of people, especially young people. So, with me here, I have Roxana. She is a real leader in the field of business, but at the same time, she is a poet. And on the Zoom, we have so many wonderful people. In order to be able to introduce those people to you properly, I will just ask questions that will go from one guest to another. Roxana is the founder of the humanitarian initiative and advent in building a human capital in India and Pakistan with 70% impact rate. Roxana, hi, you are a leader in the world of business. You are a successful woman, but at the same time, you do a lot for humanity. So my first question to you is, what, in your opinion, what are the principles of success at work?
Well, I have several mantras that I talk about, and I talk to the youngsters on the corporate ladder who want to grow, to seeing that they must inculcate these mantras. And my first one would be to believe in yourself, believe in me. Once you believe in me, and with God's help, you know you can achieve anything, reach anywhere, do anything, and create anything. With this one mantra, I came to Dubai as an accountant who was retired and ended up building 2 hotels. I donned a hard hat and built 2 hotels at the same time, and I interior designed all the restaurants. I had no experience in both building or project managing or interior designing of F&B outlets. But it was with this one mantra that I talk about, which is good. But then the second thing is that success is not just yours, only you doing it. It's shared. It must be shared with your team. So if you have a team, you must know there's a focus. You must have a vision. Share that vision with your team. Let there be a buy-in. And once there's a buy-in to the vision, they will achieve it for you, and it will be our success.
Sure.
So those are the 2 most important for me, but the other one is being able to take risks, but knowing that the risks you're taking are calculated, and therefore if you fall down, it's okay. You have learned from your mistakes. And so those are a few mantras, I believe, principles.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Thank you so much. In fact, I would just like to mention that my guest today, we have Professor Lee from Bangkok, his daughter Professor Liling from New York, Her Royal Highness Princess Moradion from New York, and we have a very special guest today, Kevin from Australia. Kevin is the founder of 3 schools and a library in Nepal. I think Kevin had something
technical problem probably, but he will be back.
Yeah, technical problem. Okay, then let me start with Professor Lee. Professor Lee is the ambassador of peace. He is bridging cultural gaps through the art of calligraphy. Hi, so we are moving here from the field of business to the field of art. And the same question to you, Professor Lee. In your opinion, what are the fundamental bases of success at work?
林教授，就是他现在先采访一下您，就是说，首先您觉得您的这个就是今天刚才我这边翻译的，您认为您的感受是怎么样？跟我们分享一下怎么样？就是您认为作为一个成功人士，应该在哪几方面就是做到比较重要？您的成功之道是在哪里？
当然，作为个人成功是谈不上了，因为永远都要在不断的努力。不过我已经活到80岁了，做了56年的外科医生，还有中医生，同时也在学习中国的书法文化，也到全世界传播中华民族的优秀的文化传统。
好，请等一下，我翻译一下。
主要的是。
我翻译一下。
好的。
First, because it's too long, I don't remember, so I will translate it. First, I'm very honored to be here with everybody and meet everybody, good friend and new friend, old friend, and also I be doctor over 50 years. He's the surgery doctor, cancer surgery doctor, and a Chinese traditional doctor. And also he same time practiced the Chinese calligraphy more than 17 years, 70 years. 好，请讲。
I'm 80 years old. 告诉他们一下，我80岁了。
You want to tell everybody, say, now I'm 80 years old, but I'm still working. He want to tell everybody this message.
Mashallah, mashallah.
但是我在不断的工作，我想第一就是作为一个人，我们必须要从小就不断的学习专业的知识，也学习社会知识。第二，光有学习。
我先翻译一下哈。First, to be successful, the people to be successful, first important role, you have to learn. You professional, like you have like his doctor and his calligraphy. So this is you should be study hard to get one professional job to done. And the second, okay, 好，请继续讲，谢谢。
Yeah,
thank you so much. Yeah, so it is the consistency in work. And let me just interrupt to welcome our Emirati guest, Dr. Maya Al-Houari. Very nice to have you with us. So Your Highness, Princess Moradion, hi.
Hello.
it's wonderful to have you this morning. Princess Murajun in New York now. Are you in New York or where?
Houston.
She's in Houston now.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Now, Princess, you are a leader. And you are a great person in the field of women empowerment. You are doing great things, you know. Just let me mention something for my audience. Princess Morajun is the founder of African Women's Health Project International and the Friends of Africa. She is a bridge builder for promoting culture, development, and health welfare for all the world. Please, can you tell us, in your opinion, what are the principles of success at work?
Dr. Ala, and for bringing such an incredible line of people together at this year's summit. It's a pleasure to meet you, Roxanne, and Dr. Meyer. Read so much, your bio is very impressive, you know, and I've read so much about both you ladies. Thank you so much. With me, success, you know, I usually look at success this ways. I have 5 keys to success that I usually just go by. And, you know, and it's just all round up together. That is, you know, and Roxanne mentioned this earlier when she talked about building high self-esteem, you know, like having the self-confidence, having that as the base, as a base. Then, of course, you know, it's very important. Secondly, it's very important to have a very positive attitude because, you know, usually, you know, there's this adage that says that whatever the mind can conceive, you know, you can actually achieve it. And so, you know, focusing on, you know, being persistent, optimistic, I think that's one of the things that actually comes with me. Then, of course, set powerful goals. Usually, you know, because most of the things like that, we as human beings, we gravitate towards whatever it is that we can see. So if you can imagine it in your mind, so, you know, if you can imagine it in your mind and actually, you know, focusing on it, you can actually achieve. So setting the powerful goals means just that is give your brain a place to actually aim, you know, set goals so that you can reach them. And when you do, reach a little higher. And number four is persevere. Don't quit. Just keep on going. Don't quit. Make sure that whatever it is that you do it for the good of the humanity, and you do it whereby you are able to transfer it and people around you are able to enjoy from it. And of course, the last thing is let God be your number one priority. Let God be at the base of whatever it is that you do. And that is by maintaining a healthy mind, body, and spirit. Just making sure that, you know, whatever it is, the faith that you have, the faith that you connect with, make sure that, you know, it's very present in whatever it is that you do, and you can't go wrong. And, you know, and I just usually wrap it up in that five bullet points. And when you do that, you will see that, you know, success will come. You know, success is not something that's handed over, but it's something that, you know, if you work at it, like if you want to achieve it, when you do get it, make sure that it's shared to others around you.
Thank you so much. Now, Dr. Maya, you are a successful woman in the field of, I suppose, education, women in leadership, and so on. Would you like to just brief our audience on the principles, fundamental principles of success?
In my opinion.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure. And thank you it's just an honor being with all of you here from around the world. How much globalization now has become an old term, and it's just brought people together, and it's a pleasure being here. Thank you. So, in my opinion, the pillars of success are 3. I go by sayings. I use them as sayings in my life, and I know for a fact, out of experience, this has helped me a lot. So I agree with a lot of what you guys said, and consistency is something very important.
So it's Professor Lee.
Yes, Professor Lee. Consistency is a big thing.
Yeah.
But consistency in the right track is what is more important. So consistency is actually, they say that 95% research proves that 95% of success is not giving up. That 5% is knowing the knowledge and knowing the but the keep at it is what matters, is what will help you to success. Number two that I use, you will find this strange, I'm very humane and very people-centered, and I use kill them with kindness.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe as a leader, kindness goes a long way. Good things happen to good people. Good things happen to hardworking people.
Yeah.
And if we were to look at kindness and goodness, then your intentions need to be set in a way where you're looking at the bigger picture, and that is the vision you spoke of.
You share the purpose.
Right? The
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
So what is your intention? And that's number three. So intention, even in Islam, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ وَإِنَّ لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَّا نَوَى. Meaning that everything that we do revolves around what do I intend to give? What do I intend out of this work? Which goes back to why am I alive?
Yeah, the purpose.
Simply purpose.
The purpose, yeah.
And it's so important that what worked for me when I woke up one day after, I know you guys know this, but after my 5 years of depression, and when I went through the depression, I didn't ask for it, but it was the first question that I asked, and I was like, why was I born? Like, why? Was it just to eat, drink, and sleep, and marry, and then die? That's it? There must be more. We were given the virtue of awareness, and we were chosen to give, that we were given that. We're not like the moon or the earth or any other creature on earth. We have awareness, we can speak, and we can act, and we can apply. So there's something bigger for us. So my third point for success is find out what your purpose is, what your meaning is, through your passion and through your intentions, and through the things that you love. And never forget to be humane, kill them with kindness, and be consistent.
And thank God all the time.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Because when you know your purpose, you know that you're here. You've been given a duty. I hate to say it that way, but your purpose is almost like a duty that was given. Who gave that to you? Who bestowed that upon you? Is definitely the dear Lord. So I completely concur. So simply that's it. Anything else will come. You'll have do the research, bring in the right team, make sure you put in the hours, make sure you work smart but not hard, make sure you work hard in the right corners. That is all there. But then I feel like as we're going into this artificial intelligence, fourth industrial revolution, I really feel that we need more people, human touch, than artificial intelligence will do everything for you.
But you still need humanity.
And
Exactly.
And that's why, especially during the crisis that we passed through during COVID-19, we came together more.
Absolutely.
We had just a post, and that are some of the advantages maybe of the crisis. And I always say that a crisis can either trigger the best of your inner self or the worst. And I see that today we are just with the best. Now, you mentioned something about passion. First, recognize your purpose and then have the passion to achieve it. I would like to ask Roxana, what is your passion?
Well, before I come straight to the passion, I just want to resonate with something that Dr. Maya just said. And you talked about depression and how you had to find a purpose. I'm actually writing a book which is called Why I Did Not Die. In my life, I've had about 5 instances when I was at the jaw of death.
Oh, wow.
And I came back, and I've come back bouncing even more, and I've come back laughing even more, smiling. It's very not very often that you see me depressed or down in the dumps. And I felt that there has to be a reason and a purpose. And that has made me what I am today. And I feel what you said, being humane, and my team is my family. And I inculcate love in them, and they give me love back.
Yeah.
And that's called agapao. And so
that's what keeps us
going.
You know, just going and standing.
So do buy my book when it comes out. But regardless, so my passion has been, of course, whilst I was working, and I realized that, you know what, there's a lot more to be done on earth than just continue working. And whilst I went back and did an MBA, went back to Harvard, came back, I decided I had to form an NGO for hospitality, a not-for-profit NGO. And that has helped people in India and Pakistan. And I realized that what was lacking is that they did not have the social norms that go with speaking through English. So we formulated a curriculum, we teach it over there, and we come back and we find the unemployed employment. And that's where you said that, yes, it does have 70% impact with in India and Pakistan. So what gives me pleasure is when one of my persons who was unemployed, has no chance of job, but through English, through the training we give them free, he is now a business owner. He owns a 12-room hotel in the northern areas of Pakistan. That brings tears and pleasure at the same time.
So this is the pleasure, the real pleasure we get from humanitarian services and from for the community welfare, right? So you did a great job in the humanitarian
well, I don't know whether I can say it's a great job, but it's a job that we're doing, everybody's doing, and we all need to do a little, perhaps for the others. For the others.
I always say, you know, even myself, I wrote 3 books. And the most famous quote I wrote and I usually re-say, oh, I see that she has some tears, Princess already. Well, I always say, even when you cease to be, you will always be there. Your words, your deeds, and the pages you left for others to read and complete. So I can see that all the audience here have left indeed something for others, not only to read, but also to experience, something to last after, even when we leave this world. Okay, Professor Lee. Professor Lee, can we ask you, what is the real joy you get from your humanitarian efforts, from your working for the welfare of the world, for trying to bridge this cultural gap among nations with your passion, the art of calligraphy?
他想这个问题呢，就是给您提一个问题，是什么样的这个激情？您为什么会有这么多的激情，将您的这个书法带向全世界？能不能跟我们分享一下您的这个想法？
是的，因为现在全世界5000多年以来，文字一直延续到现在的，就只有中国了，只有中华了，我们叫中华民族。别的你像印度、埃及、波斯包括罗马都已经找不到这个记录了。你像埃及，那比中国的文化还早1-2000年，但是它断裂了，旧的古老的那些文明遗失了，找不着了，只有中国的还保存了5000多年。所以我觉得这是对全人类的一个精神财富，一个巨大的一个精神力量。假如全世界人不了解这一点，就太可惜了。所以我觉得我有责任 把这个文化，把这种精华的思想告诉大家。
OK，
比如说中国的，
我翻译一下好吗？我先翻译一下。好，please say
好，
for the calligraphy, Chinese calligraphy have a more than 5,000 years history. And the calligraphy is the only one, the words doesn't have any change. It's not like going to Western change or going to anywhere change. The words from 5,000 what look like, now is exactly look like. That means they inside have a deep, beautiful history inside. This is the whole human being, our like a benefit. And he have a passion and he have a mission to bring this beautiful calligraphy to the whole world and deliver the culture and the peace. And even the Egypt have a long history, but the Egypt's words is not like a calligraphy. It's exactly from 5,000, many thousand years ago until now. It's the same, exactly no change. So that's why calligraphy is very attractive and very beautiful. So that's why when he did 116 times exhibition at United Nations, so many people, many ambassadors, spouse, even the UN Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, and now the Secretary General, Mr. Guterres, is also support because this calligraphy deliver the peace and happiness and the culture.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So Professor Lee has lived in New York and now he's in Bangkok, but still he is nurturing his roots with the art of his original country. Which leads me to talk with Dr. Maya. In fact, Dr. Maya is the ambassador of knowledge by the UAE Red Crescent. She is Tolerance Knight and ambassador of community services in MENA. So would you like to tell us about your passion, your humanitarian efforts, and what really drives you?
I started my journey right after I got better from my depression. Actually, 3 years, my depression was about 5 years, and then 3 years into it, I remember I was teaching at a university as an adjunct faculty, and I was walking downstairs as I was leaving the building, and I found a little kiosk for the UAE Red Crescent, and it was the first time I've ever heard of volunteering. This was in 2015. And at the time in the UAE, it was just beginning, this whole idea of volunteering. And it was when His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum started volunteers.ae, that's when everybody started, getting that idea of giving from your own time and energy. So when I started, I remember I started way before a lot of people. And by 2017, I volunteered my time just to educate people on volunteering. I used to basically go into UAE organizations, government organizations, and talk to employees about volunteering. Why is volunteering important? And how can you be a volunteer at the UAE Red Crescent? So that's how I started. Then that one thing led to another, and became Tolerance Night in 2019, and then in 2020 I dedicated my time. But I really believe that I didn't choose to be depressed.
Yeah.
And I didn't choose to walk down and find that UAE Red Crescent beginning kiosk. And I didn't choose to start my PhD. It was just said, why don't you do it? You get out of your mood, and by my ex-husband, God bless him. And because of my PhD, that's what opened doors for social media. And that's because of social media, I was chosen as one of the 50 media influencers to be under His Highness Sheikh Abdulaziz bin Hamid Al Nahyan to represent his name for the Year of Tolerance. And it was because of social media that I became a TEDx speaker and became a community service ambassador in the MENA region for 2020. And I'm so blessed because we always think that we choose. but it seems like it's been chosen for us.
you. Yes.
You know, because you are meant to be a certain way on earth. The only thing is you need to find that chosen purpose for you.
Yeah, but you know, Maya, at a point, it was your choice
Absolutely.
to get up and continue,
Absolutely.
right? Now, I will mention something. Before Corona, I'm till now an HR consultant. Before Corona, I was so busy in delivering training for organizational, government organization. So I was so busy. I didn't have time to do anything else. During Corona, we were in lockdown. And I looked at myself and said, no, I will not just stay watching TV. I remember I asked Ahmed, and he is with us here. I said, Ahmed, I will record just free training sessions. And I remember it was Ramadan, and I was going to him, putting the mask, and then recording those training and sharing it with other people. And during this lockdown, I refused just to sit down and, you know, get depressed. I gave out of my knowledge and my time, and I shared it with us. And then started the idea of those conferences, in fact. I started one conference in Arabic, What is After Corona, with 9 speakers. And it was in Arabic. And then my followers on LinkedIn said, we need something in English. And I started another conference with 25 speakers that you were, you were a participant. It was held in September, and it was a great event with a flow of ideas. And now here we are in the 3rd conference, and it's all for free for our audience. We just need the flow of positivity to just continue from one person to another, and also with our global guests and participants.
And with
So
45 speakers.
Yeah, so it's always your choice not to sit back and lament your fate or what's happening to you. I know that during Corona, many people lost their jobs or lost some, you know, beloved members of their families or whatever, or travel from one place to another and were locked down. Don't just lay back and say, oh, it's my bad luck. No, there are always alternatives, and there are always new chances for you to just spring up and do something nice for the others, and it will come back to you.
Of course.
Yes.
Now, Roxana has a completely different aspect of her personality. Although she is known as a very successful businesswoman, she is a poet.
Wow.
Yes.
Will you please be so generous to share with us some of your poetry? Since we have Professor Lee is also an artist, and we have Princess Moradion is a writer. She wrote a book of which she will brief us later.
Wow.
I don't know about you. Do you have any?
I do have a book. It just got
She has also a book.
It's in charge of
So
book fair now.
yeah, so
Fantastic.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
Okay, so like I have several poems, and they're also being published. And it's a book called A Parallel World. Okay, but since you talked about COVID and what COVID did to people, we could either get morose and take a back seat, or you could say, okay, this was given to us, let's do what we can do and do the best for others and ourselves.
We are stronger than this
And
tiny
we're-
virus.
Yes.
Of course.
Come on, people.
Exactly. So I have written this one
Inshallah.
poem
Inshallah.
from the time of COVID, and it actually brings in the 3 faiths. So I've used the word Om from the faith of the Hinduism, and today is Diwali, and perhaps it's a universal word. Om means God. I brought in the word Ikra. Ikra is the first word of
Read.
which was revealed to the
Yeah.
Prophet, peace be upon him. And then I brought the concept of the Garden of Eden into this into this one poem.
Yeah.
So if you allow me,
Please,
Yes?
please share
Okay.
it with us.
So the poem is called Well, I Never. COVID-19, you came to disrupt And lockdown 20, you came to obstruct. Order of the day, stay at home. An opportunity for us to relax and catch up with sleep. Or is it a chance to question his existence deep? No resistance now in the discovery of Om. Om, the sacred sound of the universe, found in every nook and cranny like a poetic verse. Well, I never, to the garden, perambulating my home, round and round, looking for the unknown, as Adam had found Eve in his Garden of Eden. Many jewels in my garden, blatant to my oblivion, all speaking in color and shape, flower, bush, and tree. Ikra, read, read what you know not. Come, set yourself free. Learn the sound of Om through the birds in the sky. Recite with the mind. Find the power of the butterfly. Well, I never. Om exists in the many shades of red and pink, juxtaposed with variegated greens all in sync. Green berries flowering to pink, honeybees in search of nectar, confused with beautiful butterflies on their path as protector. Can't but just appreciate what I never saw before. Blessings manifold of the birds in the original couture. The neem, the lime, the chiku, and the moringa opening up their bows. Guests invited to perch are the parrot, the dove, and the crows. Well, I never. Look everywhere, and there is diversity in total harmony. Not castles in the air, but the moon dancing round the planets. Under the moonlight am I, a whirling dervish on the lawn, moving to the rhythm of Om, not aware when night becomes dawn, twirling in happiness, becoming submerged in his current. He who is above all else, only his self is totally apparent. COVID-19, did you really come to destruct? Really, you help to right the wrongs and reconstruct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, it's so beautiful. You know, you touched my heart. Because, you know, it is faith. It is faith. You have to have something to believe in.
Of course.
And of course, we believe in our different ways. And this brings diversity into harmony, as Roxana said. It's just beautiful. Beautiful.
I was celebrating Diwali on Thursday with Dr. Aman Puri at the consulate in Dubai. And I loved it because as I grew older in age and understood the universe and how it works, it's interesting because we all speak the same language.
Mm-hmm.
So
we do.
We say God, you say Om, others say universe, people say energy, some people say Jesus.
Yeah.
But we all believe in a superpower no matter what. And we express God in different ways.
Exactly.
So when I was watching the Diwali, you know, customs and what they did, and I just looked at it, I said, it's just how we see God and how we perceive Him, you know.
Yeah.
And people just don't understand it. That's why people judge.
Yes.
You know, but it's actually, you look at the bigger picture, we all believe in one.
You see, diversity actually becomes strength.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When we realize that it's okay if in my garden, if everybody can exist the way they did. And I, you know, so busy working, COVID allowed me to go in and see all this. And I realized, oh my God, I was missing out on all these colors and how they were living. It's the same in the big garden.
Yeah.
We all live differently, we're dressed differently, but we have the same heart that pulses and the blood that goes to the veins. And hey, I'm proud to be human, and I'm proud to know you, and I'm proud to know you.
Yeah.
Together we can do a lot more than
Yeah,
what we
yeah,
can.
that's it.
Yeah.
So it is the acceptance of others, not being judgmental in your life. So this is the basis. Princess Moradion, would you like just to tell us about your book?
Yes, thank you so much. And I'm as I was listening to what the discussion was going about, and I was just really this picture came into my mind about, when you're talking about diversity, when you're talking about, if you have a garden and you just have one solid tree, I mean one flower, one kind of flower. It doesn't really, the beauty doesn't really come out though until you actually had you have all the different types of flowers, and and when you look at it, from the back like this, you can see out the beauty of it, and that's exactly what you were saying about, how, we are all like a, garden, in a garden that God created, so our our coming together is, is divinely, and while we're talking, one thing that I found out about this, when we're talking about purpose and we're talking about success, we're talking about living a full fulfilled life, is really everything at the base of it is our relationship with the Creator. Our relationship with the Creator starts, and then our faith is what moves us along to move people from when we're going through storms. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote this book. It's called The Achiever's Power. And The Achiever's Power is basically, as an achiever, what gives the power to it is the faith. Your faith in God, your faith your faith in God, your faith in humanity, your faith in the fact that God brought us, each and every one of us. We all are created and are divinely put here on earth for a purpose. And until we actually realize that purpose, some of us, we have to go through things, just like even Dr. Maya was saying about going through depression for 5 years, and then she went through it to come out on the other side, and as a beautiful butterfly. And and each and every one of us, we all have that story, that takes us take us down to the deepest valley. But then when we hold on to that faith, that relationship with the Creator, that relationship with God, knowing that He brought me, He has me on this and designed me for such a time as this, I cannot fail. And he's the one that puts me on this side. So if you can hold on to that faith will definitely bring you out of that valley and bring you to the other side. And that's what this book is all about. I call it the 15 golden nuggets to becoming an unstoppable achiever. And over the years, when my 50th birthday was coming up, I want, people were asking me, my children, everybody was asking me what kind of party was I going to have. And I know that I didn't want to have a party. I wanted to have this book. I wanted to have this as a nugget, and that's why it's called 50 Golden Nuggets. And it's almost like for every year of my life, because I mean, I've been through, no matter what, nobody is exempted from this. And of course, nobody is exempted from trials and tribulations, but you are destined for success. One of the things that this coronavirus has shown us is the fact that no matter how affluent you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much houses, cars, what have you, even positions that you have, a coronavirus is no respect of a person. And it just goes to show you that, whatever it is in life, we're all brought into this world on a clean canvas, on a clean slate, clean canvas. And we build what we want to achieve out of it. And so that's the reason why, when Dr. Maya Roxanne, Professor Lee, they were all talking about, being persistent, consistency, all of those are the keywords that bring you through. My story, when I started the African Women's Health Project International, before that time, this was in 1997, before that time, I was really wanting to show, I was doing a lot of cultural programs and fashion shows, and I was really wanting to show my Africa to the world. That was my whole purpose then. But then there was a time when after my grandmother passed, and I witnessed it was a meeting. I guess, that was the meeting of the mind that really opened my eyes to the world of humanitarian, knowing that, I definitely can do much more than just putting on fashion shows and making beautiful women beautiful, but I need to make them healthy too. So I witnessed a mother on the side at the beach that had about 6 children with her. Actually, our son was the one that first caught our eye, and he was eating. He was hungry, and he was eating out of the sand and eating sand and the food and all that we had discarded. And I watched him walk over to where his mother was, and I saw that the mother was there. She has other children with her. The little boy was about 9 years old. All the other children were under 9. And he was breastfeeding a child out of one breast, and the other breast was gangrene. And she was obviously in the last stages of breast cancer that was ravaging our body right there to everybody's eye. But I just saw there was a need that we need to put a spotlight on women, especially the one without a voice. And that's one of the things that drives me. That's what the passion that drove me. And I think it was at that moment when I saw that woman, that was what opened my eyes to my true calling, my lifelong calling, that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, is to make sure that women are healthy, women get access to healthcare in whatever as rural area as they can. I mean, we will go to the corners of the world to make sure that we get the help to the women and children, because we know that when women are healthy, the family is healthy. When the family is healthy, the whole world is balanced. And then one of the things people don't realize is that women's health is actually proportionate to world peace. And they don't because everything is all a record, everything is all a domino effect. Because women, we are the strong base that hold the family together. And when that family is shaking at the very roots, you can't really have a solid family, and you can't really have a solid world too. So those are the things that just really that drives me. Every single day when I wake up, I'm always looking for ways that we can find ways, whether to get medical help to women, or whether to even feed some of the children in the orphanages and the widows. I mean, there's so many work to be done out there, and I'm just so happy to have amazing team around me, because I can't even say I'm the one that's doing it, because it's a collective effort. Because I believe that the work for humanity is a collective effort of many people coming together, just like we have right here. All these amazing women, and Professor Lee with what is doing. I mean, I've had a chance to have his original calligraphy with me. That's in my home right now. So I am.
您的那个，他在他的家里已经挂着一个您的那个福字，就在他的家里。
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. I have a set of calligraphy that I was gifted when I was at the UN. So thank you so much, Professor Lee. I just want to just say that, I mean, this is something that I believe that, God placed each and every one of us here. Even at this time we're here and sitting here. It's not by coincidence. Each and every one of us have something to tap into each other to make that collective work for the
Princess,
humanity.
can you hold up your book for 2 seconds so we can all see it? Yeah, keep it stationary so because we can't read it otherwise. No, keep it as if. But no, face it to the camera.
Face it to the camera.
Face it to the camera and keep it there. Not your face, just the title.
Little bit backward.
Yeah, that's it. The achiever's power. Okay, lovely. Thank you.
It is the achiever power.
I have a professor book.
50 golden nuggets to becoming an unstoppable
Thank you.
achiever.
Thank you, Princess.
And book I was fortunate to have the forward done by Her Excellency Dr. Joyce Banda, the former president of Malawi.
Wow.
She actually wrote the forward to this book, and then I have it's really a great read. I mean, it's just really, it captivates you from the first chapter to the 50th chapter. And the first chapter is just the first chapter actually shows you the first chapter is just it goes with review, rethink, and relaunch. Almost like what it is that we're going through right now. When COVID-19 happened, we all have to review everything that we're doing. We have to rethink, and then we have to relaunch. And Dr. Ala, you mentioned something about that just now. So that was my first chapter. So it's almost like I was thinking ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Now we move to Professor Lee and Professor Lin. I see that you are holding a book. Would you like to tell us about it a little bit?
Okay, because you talk about the book. I have a bunch of books about Professor Lee.
Wow.
This is all book he wrote. This is cancer because he's a cancer surgery doctor. So doctors save a lot of people's life, and especially Professor Lee. He's my father. So when I was very younger, many people have a problem and that they don't have money. He always free treat them until now. And now here in Bangkok, he also have a clinic. And if people poor, I hold it. Okay, too many. All of.
We have to have a copy of each and every one of that. We have to have a copy, and we have to have a copy of it.
So and too many, this much. So many he have. You see. So I hold a little bit. Yes, I just want to share like how wonderful people we are tonight to get together. Now it's New York time, almost like 3 o'clock, midnight, 3 o'clock. And Princess is 2 o'clock, you're there. And the Thailand's afternoon, 2 o'clock. So you're like 12 o'clock. So how wonderful we are people together. You see, everybody write book and myself. Okay, I have one book too. This is one book.
Wow.
This is the Peace and Happiness face-to-face interview ambassador spouse. This is all of spouse I interviewed. Yes. So, anyway, you see, we all have a same passion, same habit, same dream, which is helping the world. So now I let the professor to share some experience, how, he's like training the people and achieve the, for benefit the whole world. 李教授，您要不要讲2句，就是说对世界的贡献？
Yeah. Professor Lee, on behalf of the organizing committee of the World Leading Influencers Summit 2020, I would like to present you with an award of recognition for your efforts as an ambassador of peace and also as a bridger of cultural gaps through the art of calligraphy. This is from Dubai. This is from Dubai, the United Arab Emirates.
Can you see it on? Can you see this?
，thank
这
you，
个
thank you。
活动主办方，
They
这
can't
和平大使同时呢也是您的这个做出的贡献，给的这个奖状。
Thank you.
So we
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
奖状。
Uh,
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure having you from China. And this is really what, you know, the United Arab Emirates has taught me so far through my stay here, that we are all one nation. Thank you so much for joining me. Princess Moridio, on behalf of also the organizing committee of the World Leading Influencers Summit, I would like to present you with an award of recognition for your efforts in the humanitarian services.
祝贺祝贺 ！Congratulations! Beautiful!
Thank you very much.
We're an exalted company.
Very beautiful.
Of course, I would like to present an award of recognition to Roxana Jaffer.
Oh my God. I'm really humbled.
On behalf of your, great efforts, now it's been for 6 years maybe that she has this project in India and Pakistan. She's, teaching English for, workers, so that to enable them to get jobs easier.
Amazing.
And it's a great job, a practical thing, and it is so humanitarian.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hala. May I say something on this?
Yes, sure.
Yes. So this is one great impacting not-for-profit NGO that's running in 2 countries, but run from Dubai. But the other thing is, in the hotel, we have several initiatives. For instance, we are partners with United Nations World Food Program, where the staff with our under my tutelage, we've been able to feed 473,000 hungry children in the world.
Wow.
Very good.
And the pleasure comes when we make all the staff, all of us, more socially responsible. And you said what makes me happy, and I'll tell you a small, very quick story. A lady by the name of Lorena worked in my office, and she had to leave to go back to Philippines, a Christian, and she phoned me in April for my birthday. And I asked her, I said, what are you doing, Lorena? She says, well, there is no work, there's no money, etc. But I'm happy. I said, how are you getting happiness? And she says that I make little packets of food and things that are required for day to day, and I go and give them to the destitute people around me. I says, Lorena, how can you be doing this again? She says, that's something I learned from you and from the holiday in Al Barsha. And she quotes to me.
So this is the message we want to deliver to others.
And she quotes to me Prophet Muhammad's words, which is, life is only worth living if lived for someone else.
Wonderful.
And so to me,
Wonderful.
that was
Wonderful.
like very humbling. So, but thank you for this.
Thank you. It is just something simple, just to show the world the real meaning of influencers. And allow me, Dr. Maya, also to present you with an award of recognition for your great efforts. You are young and you have faced many obstacles in your life.
She's
But
crying because
still-
of me, she said.
And
Can we
also
have
I
tissue
have
for her?
tears. What's the matter? But still, you are fighting back and you are proving that you can be somebody. And it's also because of you are in the United Arab Emirates, but you are a great personality. So thank you, Maya. Thank you.
I just love Dr. Maya, yes.
Too real, too much.
Tears are just coming down her cheeks.
I was touched.
She was touched.
That's the whole
And
point.
Roxanne,
Yeah, you know.
Not just you.
Yeah, I see that those are not tears, they are pearls, in fact.
God help me, the makeup. No, I need to.
No,
This
you're
is
beautiful.
good.
In fact, those are pearls,
Thank you.
pearls. In fact, yes, Maya is a wonderful person, Roxana. But also, I would like to mention another 2 people. they are not with us here. Maybe because of technical failure. First, I would like to mention Kevin McCook from Australia. He's living in Australia from British origin. Kevin went to Nepal and devoted his time and efforts to build 3 schools and library in remote areas of Nepal. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I have a certificate of an award of recognition for Kevin.
Wow. So clap for Kevin.
Yeah, we will send it to him. Now, I have another a great personality from the United Arab Emirates. She is Dr. Mariam Matar. In fact, Dr. Mariam, she is the founder of 2 public benefit societies, the Emirates Down Syndrome Association and the Emirates Genetic Disease Association. So she is in the field of science. She is a scientist, she's a woman in leadership, she's Emirati, and she's doing 2 associations to help people recover and face. So an award of recognition for Dr. Mariam Matar.
Thank you.
Well,
this was very unexpected. We were not
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I have something I want to say. I want to dedicate. I'm looking at you, phenomenal women. This is just going to be women, because you know most of the things that I do is all about women empowerment, right? And so you know, just hearing your story, Roxanne, and all the incredible things you're doing, Dr. Maya, Dr. Allah, all the incredible things that you're doing, and all the people that you're bringing together, and knowing that, you know, when COVID happened, you know, your normal day-to-day job is, you know, would be to do the HR, do a lot of training and things like that. And so when COVID, when COVID happened, you rethink and you relaunch. I mean, and I just really love that. And I just wanted to, it brings me to the mind of Dr. Maya Angelou and the poem that she wrote. And I wanted to just recite it to just dedicate it to all you wonderful women. And my sister Yin Lee, I know she's not saying much about all the great things that she's doing over there in New York, right there on the UN campus. You know, she's doing amazing work. I mean, she's one of those incredible women that I just really admire too. And so I want to, so I have this poem I want to read to you by Dr. Maya Angelou. It says, "Phenomenal woman. Pretty woman, wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips, because I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellow stands or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me like a hive of honeybees, and I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet, because I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. Men themselves, I wonder, when they see me, they try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. And I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breast, and the grace of my style. Because I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed down, and I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. Because I say, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, and the need for my care. Because I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me.
Now, before Roxana telling us some of her beautiful poetry, I would just want to unveil something that I discovered. When I have chosen Dr. Maya for, this award of recognition, I didn't know anything about her background. So we had a chat in the morning, and Roxana imagined that I discovered that her niece was a neighbor of my mom in Damascus.
Oh,
My aunt. I'm her niece.
Ah, okay, your
Your
aunt.
aunt.
So Maya's aunt.
My mom's
This is
sister.
after I made this award, definitely. When I was talking with her to book her for this meeting, she was telling me about her family. And then I discovered that her aunt was a neighbor of my mom. My mom continued to live in Damascus even during the war, and we are all outside of the country. Horia, her aunt, was looking after my mom. And she used to visit her and bring her the food that she liked. And when Horia passed away, all of us were very sorry because she was a very dear person to our mom. Imagine that. A deed of Horia in Damascus was, reverted to her niece here in Dubai after maybe 10 years without knowing it. Believe me, I didn't know it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
mashallah.
And tonight I saw my mom in my dream. Believe me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is what you give to the world will sure come back, if not to you, to your ancestors, to your grandchildren, to anyone you love.
True.
And that's it. So let's end. So it is. It's a morning full of tears. I say.
So,
But tears make the heart tender, and if you have a tender heart, it means that you are living. Your heart is pumping.
So true.
Yeah. So let's finish with
Okay.
you with a piece of poetry.
sure. So to end with my poem, I want to first just say thank you to Dr. Hala Minawi. If it wasn't for her, she would not have brought us all together.
No, don't
And
mention
I'd like
it. You
to say
deserve
thank
it.
you. Do you think she
It
deserves?
was. It,
she
I
deserves
was
a round?
only a means. I was only a
Yes,
means. You
you're the
are
catalyst.
the great people, and I'm only here to show how great you are, and to show the world the
Well,
real
you're so
meaning
humble.
of influences.
Yeah. Thank you, Bunny.
Yalla, go ahead.
So my poem is on the word dhikr, which in Arabic, in English means remembrance. And we've talked about a lot of memories and God basically in all our work. When you look after humanity, you are looking after God, right?
Yeah.
Because there's one thing, I come from Kenya, and I'm African like you, Princess. And
Yes.
and we grew up with a proverb which said that you must treat the earth well. You must treat the earth well. It was not given to you by your parents. It is on loan to you for your children. So in that, perhaps we are all looking after humanity, and we have to look after the environment a lot more. And through remembrance, I'm going to end this little presentation.
Yeah, sure.
And it's called Devotion Through Dhikr. What happens? Okay, heart in a pulsating mode, in rhythm with the breath. Mind reaching its zenith as thoughts meet their death. Gratefulness taking over, conveying lightness to the body. Entire body in smiles, perhaps the spiritual light in embody. All because of the dhikr, the constant chanting, his attributes, in tempo, energy in sync, all else negating. Dhikr, what an effect on the waves of the gamma and the theta. Both leave defeated, allowing the takeover by the wave of the relaxing alpha. Dhikr, bringing in awareness of his elements. So many, 99, an inner need arises to inscribe, to impute these traits divine. thicker, my heart in a pulsating mode, in sync with the mind. Now there is total unity as mind, body, and soul are totally entwined.
Beautiful. Yeah, this is, you know, as Princess Moradion said, connecting the mind with the spirit, with the body. That's wonderful, in fact. Well, I have nothing to say. You are great people. You are world influencers, and I am very happy just to shed the light on some points of your great characters to the world. Please, my audience, just revert to this. Those are the real influencers who are able to share much of their time, efforts, knowledge with others just for free.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been a wonderful morning. Professor Lee, you are a great person. I see this beautiful calligraphy behind you, so beautiful.
Can I just explain to you before we say goodbye? You see, Professor Lee today is especially put his background from Professor Lee is peace, friendship, longevity, and happiness. So this is all of good things. Wish everybody longevity and happiness. And with the friendship, we will have a peaceful world. And then you can see my background also. Hope you can see. My this side is friendship. This side is peace and happiness. So wish everybody have a happiness life.
Thank you.
So beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Dear audience, hope to meet you again in more wonderful meeting like this one, where we can meet through the Zoom and physically with people here in Dubai. Thank you so much. Thank you, Roxana, for giving us this space at Holiday Inn in Barsha, Dubai. Thank you, Maya, for taking the efforts to come and join us this morning. Thank you, Professor Lee. Thank you, Professor Rilling, for joining us from Bangkok and New York.
Thank you.
And Princess.
And thank you, Princess Moradion, for taking the time and efforts to join us from Manhattan, I think?
New York.
New York, no.
Yeah, but she's in Houston now.
In Houston. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Thank you so much. And also I would like to thank the team here, the wonderful team who made this possible, whether by designing the certificate, Feroz, while managing the Zoom packet, Ahmad, Ismail also. You are great.
Thank you
You're
very
a
much.
great team. And Chanki,
Thank you so much.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And see you again.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Suma.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.